Hey Briesties, welcome back to my channel, and today is gonna be a bit of a unique one. I know that I've been kind of going crazy with the series and stuff, but we're just doing this one for fun and really just on some like I need to share this type of energy. And what I'm talking about is my Ancestry DNA results. Now, just a little backstory. I did the DNA test before I even got back on YouTube. So although I really did want to cover content regarding my results, I wasn't doing it at the time, and I just kind of felt like I was gonna keep it to myself, right? Well, then I got a notification a week ago that they have been updated. And I was like, what? Updated? I didn't even know that was a thing. So basically, once you take the test, you get your initial results, but as time goes on, they do work diligently to update them for you based on your DNA results. And that is based on the matches that they have compared to the region that it's from, if that makes sense. So, you know, when you first take the test, it may say that you're from this country, but as time goes on, they're able to specify a little more, just basically bring some more detail just to give the full picture for you. So I was elated when I found out that they were gonna do this for me, because I mean, the fact that I purchased this test, I think last year or earlier this year, and it's still like giving me benefits of like updated information is really, really cool. And by the way, guys, I'm not sponsored. I'm just talking about Ancestry DNA and just the experience I had. But yeah, I was really excited to see a more in-depth overview of my ethnicity. And guys, it is nothing that I imagined. Like, I thought that I knew what I had going on with my ethnicity. I knew I was mixed, but I didn't know I was mixed like this. Like, this is beyond me, like literally. But without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so let's just get into the nitty-gritty. I have my results right here, and you are about to hear it first as far as what my results are. So as I mentioned before, I really thought that I was mixed with like 2-3 things maximum. The first two are guaranteed because they're literally based on my parents. Like my mom, she was Mexican on paper and my dad was Black. So, you know, of course, I just thought I was Black and Hispanic, Black and Mexican. And, you know, just as time went on, I kind of learned about both sides of the family, just different tidbits of history that weren't really confirmed, but, you know, I took it and I absorbed it. Basically, we believe that my dad's side of the family had more native blood than we first anticipated because of just the way that our features are. Even like my dad, like he is a Black man, but I just remember like in childhood, like he would get cornrows and he would constantly have to get them rebraided because his hair was just too soft to hold the braid. So we always had a notion that like we had something else along with Black. And because I am like an East Coast descendant, I guess, there's a lot of Native American bloodline running through this area, so we just always thought it was Native. And then on my mom's side, pretty much Mexican. I actually know which country from, and so Ancestry DNA definitely helped me narrow that down and get more specific. And then I also knew that my grandmother was adopted. So that also kind of raised a flag for me as far as like curiosity as to like, maybe there's more to the story. Maybe it's not just Black and Mexican. And then of course I did my own research about Mexico, learning that it's really just a melting pot between Native Americans, Mexican descent, and Spanish. And then of course everyone else who migrated to Mexico. So it was really, really interesting. And that's what really led me to this journey in the first place. But I just wanted to give you guys like an overview of what I had gathered prior to taking the test. So just like to summarize, I believe that I was Black, Mexican, and Native. That's basically what I just chalked it up to, like Native of some sort. I didn't know if it was Native to America, Native to Mexico, but in other words, just native to like North America in some form or fashion. Okay, so let's get into the results. I'm excited. Even though I've seen them, I'm just in shock, guys. It is nothing that I thought it was. So you know how I said that I was maybe mixed with like 3-4 things maximum? Well, according to Ancestry DNA, I am mixed with 22 regions. Yeah, that's 22 regions in the world. Crazy, right? Anyway, so man, my mouth dropped when I saw these results, because how did it turn to like a more generalized, you know, on the surface type of result to like this? But anyway, now for real, I'm gonna get into it. Okay, so they basically branched it into, like I said, regions, but they broke down like each part of the regions. You're not gonna believe this, but the place and the area where I have the most of my DNA matches was in West Africa. Crazy, right? So with regards to West Africa, it starts with Ivory Coast and Ghana at 12%. Then it's Nigeria, 10%. Then it's Senegal, 8%, Mali, 6%, Yorubaland, 3%, Benin and Togo is 2%, and Central West Africa is 2%. So that pretty much sums up most of my black side, I'm guessing, but that's a lot for me to be mixed and for me to kind of like have the features that I have. I thought that was really, really interesting. So then they break down my more Spanish side. So it looks like I have a lot of matches in the, I don't know if it's Iberian Peninsula. Please correct me if I said that wrong, but I have a lot of Spanish descent. So I'm actually 16% Spanish, like Spain Spanish, 3% Basque, 2% Azores, 1% Northern Spain. So that was insane to me. And then this is the other like major amount. It actually had the highest just soul percentage, and that is Mexico. I am 18% Mexican. Crazy, right? So just that alone is just like, whoa. Because like I said, when I first took the test, I did learn about Spanish, and luckily I did get to share with my mom that detail, and she was really fascinated. But just that alone, like I said, was very, very shocking to me. So the next is more of the lower regions, the lower percentages, not lower regions, but the percentages on my chart that were lower. So it was Central Africa. I only have 5% of Cameroon. Western Bantu people, I have 1%. Jewish, which is crazy because what? I'm Jewish, okay. But anywho, it is Sephardic Jews in Northern Africa, 3%, and Sephardic Jews in the Eastern Mediterranean is 1%. Next was Western Europe. I am from France, 2%, Netherlands, 1%, Iceland, 1%, Sweden, 1%, Southern Wales, 1%, Ionian Islands, 1%. I'm a mutt. Like, I am a mutt. And that's okay. I'm just so fascinated, guys, because growing up, I had a hard time, like, understanding my identity. I was mixed. My parents, they are kind of like, you know, the black sheep in their families too. So it was just, I just never really felt like I belonged anywhere or I was connected to anything like prevalent. So I would just kind of just go my own way, do my own thing. And I think that really plays into like why I value authenticity so much, because that's all I got, guys. Like, it's me. I can't just go by where I'm from and say I like this, I like that. Now granted, some things I do, but for the most part, it was really just about me finding myself, finding things that worked for me, what made me happy, and just kind of dancing to the beat of my own drum. So finding out that I'm this mixed is just so cool and fascinating to me, because it really helps me understand why I am the way I am. I'm super eclectic, and what that means is that I'm just so many different things. I'm interested in so many different things. I'm really into culture, all different types of culture. Like when people ask me like what's my favorite type of music, I really can't even say because I listen to just such a wide range. I absolutely love culture. And I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, I come from a lot of places in the world, so I definitely learned appreciation for different places. And this honestly brought a smile to my eyes just to know that I'm not really the type of person you can box in, literally. Like, I'm from all these places. And yeah, it just really makes me love myself that much more and just look at myself differently. I think I had mentioned, like, I don't really have a lot of, like, Afrocentric features. Like, you can tell, like, my eyes, my nose, my mouth. They just don't really give that is my ethnicity, even though it's one of my primary ethnicities. You just can't really tell. And I used to always kind of wonder, you know, maybe why I was treated a little differently or why people couldn't like recognize my ethnicity, and now it just makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and I was just super excited to share this with you guys because y'all my peeps. Like, I couldn't wait to tell you guys, and I'm just so glad that I get this moment with y'all because y'all deserve to know. Shoot, you're invested in my life just like I'm into yours. And yeah, I was really, really excited to bring this out. So yeah, your girl is a mutt in conclusion. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I disclosed my Ancestry DNA results. I'm not sure if they're gonna do another update, but definitely let me know in the comments if you guys would like to hear what my next DNA update is. They've been updating me for quite some time, but I never really paid too much attention to it because it was very, again, like generalized. Like they meant more in depth of what they found, but it wasn't this like, it wasn't like this. That's basically all I could say. It was nothing like this. Like, I'm seeing places I've never seen before. Like, just the fact that they've broken down specific areas versus like just regions is just so amazing to me. Like, shout out to them. And like I said, if you're one of those people that's really interested in your lineage and your ancestry and where you come from, definitely check them out. They have really good sales. I think that's how I caught them. Actually, they had like a really good Christmas sale last year and I just could not resist. Like, I've been wanting to know. But yeah, this really put a lot of things in perspective for me, and I'm really glad I did it. That's all I got for you guys. Like I said, let me know in the comments if you have done an ancestry test, if you want to do an ancestry test, what your results were, if you were surprised, if it was exactly what you thought. I would just love to hear anything you want to share about this in the comments. Even if you have any comments about my results, like, let me know. Like, do I look like all of the places that I come from, or do I look more like one region or another region or none of them? I still want to know. That's all for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.